The Battle of Antietam, also known as the Battle of Sharpsburg, was a significant engagement that took place on September 17, 1862, during the American Civil War. It was fought near the town of Sharpsburg in Maryland, along the banks of the Antietam Creek. The battle is notable for being the bloodiest single-day battle in American history, with a staggering number of casualties. This essay will delve into the events leading up to the battle itself, and its aftermath, highlighting its impact on the war. By the summer of 1862, the Civil War had been raging for over a year. The Confederate Army, led by General Robert E. Lee, had achieved several victories against the Union forces, bolstering their confidence and belief in their cause. Emboldened by their successes, Lee decided to take the war to northern soil and launch an invasion of Maryland. His objectives were to gain supplies for his army, inspire pro-Confederate sentiment in Maryland, and potentially convince European powers to recognize the Confederacy. Lee's invasion of Maryland was met with mixed reactions from the local population. While some sympathized with the Confederacy, others remained loyal to the Union. The Union Army, led by General George B. McClellan, was determined to stop Lee's advance and protect the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. After a series of skirmishes, the two armies converged near Antietam Creek. On September 17, 1862, the Battle of Antietam began. The battle unfolded in three main phases: the fighting at the cornfield, the sunken road, also known as Bloody Lane, and the assault on Burnside's Bridge. Each phase was marked by intense combat and high casualties. The fighting at the cornfield was one of the bloodiest episodes of the battle. Union forces, led by General Joseph Hooker, launched a series of attacks against the Confederate lines in an attempt to dislodge them. The cornfield became a scene of chaos and carnage as both sides clashed fiercely. The Confederates, under General Stonewall Jackson, managed to hold their ground, inflicting heavy casualties on the Union troops. The sunken road phase of the battle was equally brutal. Union forces, under General Israel Richardson, made repeated assaults on the Confederate position, a sunken road behind a stone wall. The Confederates, led by General D. H. Hill, held their ground and repelled each attack with devastating efficiency. The road and the surrounding fields became a killing ground, with bodies piling up in gruesome numbers. The final phase of the battle took place at Burnside's Bridge, where Union General Ambrose Burnside led his troops in an attempt to cross the Antietam Creek and outflank the Confederate position. The Confederates, led by General Robert Toombs, defended the bridge fiercely, forcing the Union soldiers to make several futile attempts to cross. Eventually, the Union forces managed to break through, but the delay allowed Lee's army to regroup and withdraw to Virginia under the cover of darkness. The Battle of Antietam was a devastatingly bloody affair. The Union Army suffered around 12,410 casualties, including 2,108 killed, 9,540 wounded, and 1,758 missing or captured. The Confederate Army, despite being outnumbered, experienced approximately 10,316 casualties, with 1,546 killed, 7,752 wounded, and 1,018 missing or captured. The staggering loss of life and the horrific nature of the battle shocked both the North and the South. Despite the high casualties, the battle did not result in a clear-cut victory for either side. However, it had significant ramifications for the war. The Battle of Antietam is often considered a turning point in the conflict. It gave President Abraham Lincoln the opportunity to issue the Emancipation Proclamation, which declared that all slaves in Confederate territory would be forever free. This move transformed the war from a struggle to preserve the Union into a fight for freedom and equality. The Battle of Antietam dealt a blow to Lee's invasion of the North. The heavy losses suffered by the Confederate Army forced Lee to retreat to Virginia, abandoning his plans to achieve a decisive victory on Northern soil. The battle also bolstered Union morale and convinced European powers that the Confederacy was not invincible, thus dampening their enthusiasm for recognizing the Southern states as an independent nation. The Battle of Antietam was a pivotal moment in the American Civil War. The high casualty count and the ferocity of the fighting left an indelible mark on the nation's history. The battle's significance lies not only in its impact on the war itself but also in the broader context of American society. It provided the impetus for the Emancipation Proclamation and altered the course of the war, eventually leading to the Union's victory and the abolition of slavery. The Battle of Antietam stands as a testament to the sacrifices made by both sides and the enduring struggle for freedom and unity in the United States.